It's busy and bigger than ever. The big thing, we're seeing more and more people embracing cloud learning and the opportunities of both cloud storage and cloud systems. Beyond that, I think again that the gradual move towards simplicity in systems.
What I'm looking for in the technology, first of all, it's got to be fast, it's got to be intuitive, be able to be used by any teacher, a teacher that's inexperienced, a teacher that might be nervous with technology, and also any level of students.
One of the trends that I've noticed, especially in talking to teachers at the BETT show here, is that they are looking for the technology they use in their classroom to be kind of a first step in how their students will use technology in the future.
They're looking for something that's easy to use, but that's having a big impact. They really want something that's going to transform their classroom. You can't just take a piece of paper and put it on an iPad and call it transformational. At that point, really all you're doing is substituting.
The biggest hindrance of making teachers use new tools is the user interface and the ease of use and the ability to answer the question, what's in it for me? It is the simplicity and the ability to ease teachers from repeating things and provide adapted learning for those in need of more learning and fortified and magnified learning.
It takes time to learn some programs and use it, but when you're learned, it can help the school and the learning become more available.
A lot of head teachers still see technology is just a keyboard and a web browser and that's it. A lot of head teachers have a very poor understanding of the potential of technology to really change systems, and they're making judgments based on how it was 10, 20 years ago. If things like BETT can really address those school leaders and get them to change their understanding, I think then we're starting to make really good progress with use of technology.
Technology is giving students more opportunities to interact and to investigate by themselves, taking the teacher out of the situation. And we're not just imparting content, we're allowing the students to interact with their education and personalise it how they want to. I think we've innovated how we communicate in our team, not just teacher to teacher, but working with the children. It's changed everything from communication and feedback.
I think technology is really integral to the classroom because students are encountering it in their day-to-day lives so frequently. Everyone has iPads and cell phones at home, but it's important to have that integrated into the classroom so that they learn how to use these things as tools and not just as toys.
It makes the classroom more alive. You can do different things. It's just not me talking, I get the students active. I think that's what schools need. They need to be using technology because that's also how we prepare our students for becoming employees.
I think it's also about giving children at all different stages of development and stages of learning the power to create their own learning experiences, because I think that's a lot more impactful for the student as a learner.
I tend to work on working with teachers to have an effective solution with the iPad and a minimum number of apps. I've created this thing called the 3-app solution, which is on my website, and that's Show Me, Book Creator, and of course Explain Everything. Those 3 apps to me, I don't need anything else. If I want to work with the minimum, maximum effect, those are the 3 apps I use. The feature set constantly seems to be responding regularly to the needs of teachers, and I really like that. I do like compatibility with PDFs and PowerPoints, and the reason why that comes into it a lot of the teachers that I work with are moving from a PowerPoint mentality. And people watching this, I think we do need to move on from that. But all those PowerPoints can be imported into Explain Everything and immediately used to create a podcast or a video file. So the compatibility is really cool.